Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Gabriel890, back again with another video. All right, so anybody that watched my last video where I went through my entire movie collection, I hinted that I would probably be doing a TV collection, and so that's what I'm here to do. It is drastically smaller, but just as good. So let's get started with debatably my favorite show of all time. It goes back and forth. But we got Arrested Development. Just so unique, so hilarious. Luckily, thanks to Netflix and making a new season, and actually two new seasons, it's really just gained a lot more recognition and popularity. But yeah, it's one that you gotta watch in order, and I feel like that's why it just didn't do so well on TV initially. But yeah, one of my all-time favorites. So of course I have season 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then it would be nice to get 5. I don't know if we ever will, but that's just on Netflix. All right, now up next, another one that's debatable as far as being my favorite of all time. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So I think I just had a cousin actually was like, dude, you gotta check out this show. And initially, it's not that it even has a rough start, but it's just, it takes a little bit to get used to the characters and their personalities and the jokes, kind of like Arrested Development. And so once I got going, I'm like, oh, okay, no, this is good. And it just got better and better as I continued. And I was watching it in college, and my roommate walks in, and he's like, "Is this Always Sunny?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is the greatest show." And he's like, "Dude, I told you to watch this like months ago." And I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I should have listened." But yeah, so we got season 1 and 2, 3, 4, and then we have It's Always Sunny, A Very Sunny Christmas, which is not necessarily a movie, but movie length. Like I think it's like 45 minutes or so, but hilarious. And then we have 5, 6, 7, 8. And then unfortunately they stopped doing Blu-rays and only did DVDs, but hey, I'm grateful for something. And I was really happy because I found 9 and 10 at For Your Entertainment of all places, and they were like on clearance, so I got them for like dirt cheap. And then now they've gone to like they're made to order, so they're actually burned, but they are legit. So yeah, we got 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, unfortunately, they started taking certain episodes off of streaming services, and I think even Amazon like stopped selling certain episodes. And I was like, okay, it's time to get hard copies because I'm not putting up with that crap. And unfortunately, with season 14, there is a episode missing from the DVD if you bought it later, which I did. But luckily, I was able to get a bootleg, which does have it and is solid quality. So, yeah. Great show. Love it. Season 15, hilarious. Can't wait for that to come out. Now, as far as TV shows, this is the first one I ever owned. I think I got this when I was like 11 or 12, maybe younger, but my grandma bought it for me. The Crocodile Hunter. I stayed with my grandparents for a summer, and I got really into Animal Planet, and Mr. Irwin was definitely my favorite. So, yeah, I was able to pick this out, and it's still great. Very entertaining stuff. Very cool. All right, and then speaking of, Crocodile Hunter and all that stuff, I love a good documentary, and you can't get much better than the Planet Earth series. Loved the first one. Couldn't wait for the second one. Pre-ordered it actually, and just it's incredible. Like just the camera work. I don't know if I can fully explain it, but like it's just incredible. And not only just like how good the film work is, but just also how incredible our planet is, and just how cool all these animals are. And following along with that, we have A Perfect Planet and Dynasties, which I actually just picked up like 2 weeks ago because they were on a good deal at Best Buy. And yeah, it's basically in the same vein as Planet Earth, but you just find out even more how amazing our planet is. So I always love a really well put together and beautiful documentary, and this one is no exception. Documentary now. Actually, it should be called mockumentary now, because they're mockumentaries based on actual documentaries. Most of them are like award winning, so it's very interesting to see kind of how they change it and put a humor spin on it. But yeah, this is season 1 and 2, and then there's actually 2 more seasons. We're just getting to that age though, where it's like less and less being put out on DVD or Blu-ray, and more just, hey, sign up for our streaming service if you want to see this. So anyways, as soon as I saw that there was a physical release for this, I had to have it. And just a quick story. I had never heard of it. No idea. It used to be on it is still on Netflix, seasons 1 through 3. But I was just scrolling, looking for something to watch, and this picture right here of Fred Armisen and Bill Hader, like, I was like, what is this? I have to figure it out. Like, I have to see what this is all about. And then I just, like, immediately loved it and was just laughing through every episode. So yeah, definitely check it out if you're a fan of either of those 2 guys. And then, of course, after Documentary Now, most people stumble across a little series called Portlandia, which is Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein. And it's not necessarily like mockumentaries, but they just have, it's kind of like a clip show, but they have like certain characters that reappear throughout the episodes, and it's just hilarious. And so this has actually been a recent pickup for me, and it's been hard to track down. Like, the first 3 seasons, not too difficult. They're all over and pretty cheap. So we got 2 and 3, but then after that it starts getting quite difficult. 4, it seems like there's a bit more, but that's where they stopped doing Blu-ray, unfortunately, and so it's only DVD. But then after that, it just gets ridiculous, and then the prices, of course, are absurd. You can buy the episodes pretty cheap on like Amazon and Google, I think. But anyways, I like to collect. I like to have a physical copy in case they ever go off streaming for whatever reason. And so I was able to find 5, 6, and 7. Now these are all ex-library copies. Got them off thrift books. But they were all very reasonably priced. And so I don't get the official case, but I do get the official discs, which all work great, and I was able to watch each one without issue and get it for literally a fraction of the going rate right now. So anyways, I was very happy to pick all these up. Now I can watch them whenever I want on my time. Okay, now moving forward. This was actually the first anime series I ever saw. I have a lot of good memories. Me and my brother down watching these in his room. And I just thought it was so cool to be able to watch anime with him. But yeah, Hellsing. A very unique and interesting series. Most animes are. But yeah, Alucard, friggin' sweet. Love that guy. But yeah, very unique, very anime. But you gotta love it. Alright. So this, without a doubt, is my favorite anime. And I love anime. I wouldn't say that I'm like a buff by any means. Like, I've seen a number of them, but not nearly enough. It's hard because there's so much, and a lot of them have tons of seasons, tons of episodes, and so it's just a matter of chipping away. Luckily, this one is not too difficult because it's only 2 seasons. Can't wait for season 3, but I'm talking about One Punch Man. Hilarious, cool, unique, like nothing like it. Like, I love it. I love it. So yeah, definitely give these a watch. Both seasons are on Hulu, or you can pick them up for fairly cheap. I got this recently off of Walmart for $17 out the door, so that's a really good deal on this, because normally it's going for like $30 to $40. And then this one is about in the $20 range. But yeah, definitely my favorite anime. Alright, and then up next, these are two of the craziest shows I've ever seen, and that's why I love them. They're on Adult Swim, so that should tell you something. But we got Delocated, which was on Netflix. And the first season, each episode was 10 minutes, and I think there was, let's see, 4, 5, so there was 7 episodes, so, an hour and 10 minutes, and you've watched the whole season. So me and my roommate just watched the entire thing, laughing the entire time, and so then I immediately was on season 2 when it came out, and then I grabbed this, and then they actually have the season 3, which was the last one, but that's only digital as of now. But yeah, just hilarious show. Love the comedy in that. And then we got Chuck It Out with Dr. Steve Brule. Oh my gosh. I love John C. Reilly, and this is so off the wall because he's such a versatile actor. I love it because he'll be in something really serious and dramatic, and then he'll be in something wacky with Will Ferrell, and then he'll do something just like way beyond that even with Check It Out. So this is season 1 and 2, and then I bought season 3 and 4 digitally because it's like I said, it's just getting to a point where we're going to see fewer and fewer physical releases, but I still want to have access to some of my favorite shows. Okay, now up next we have the Star Wars Family Guy trilogy. All 3 were hilarious and great, and I remember when they first came out, I think I was in high school, and yeah, we quote this all the time. And yeah, they really did a great job, along with Robot Chicken and their parodies of Star Wars. Okay, now moving forward, we have just one of the most amazing classics ever made, The Office. I love it. I remember the first episode I ever saw. It was just randomly on TV, probably on NBC, right? Yes, NBC. Just, I want to be correct here. But anyways, I was just like, what is the show? And the first season, it is funny, but, they're definitely getting the characters figured out. And just, like, it's one of those shows where, the longer you go, the funnier it gets. And, yeah, it was pretty sad when it ended. But, yeah, I had to pick it up. Got it on a Black Friday deal. Unfortunately, on DVD, I always prefer Blu-ray. But for some reason, the Blu-ray of this, like, the sale prices are pretty abysmal. Like, it doesn't come down much, and they're asking like $90 to $100. And this was on sale for $30. And so picked it up, and once I get past the fact that it's DVD, it's totally watchable. I guess I'm just kind of a resolution snob sometimes, but I feel like with TV shows it's not as big of a deal. And so that's why I decided to also pick up another great show, Parks and Recreation, on DVD. And this one was about the same thing, $30. And this one came after The Office, and I feel like this was basically meant to replace The Office, because it does have a similar style and feel to it. But once it gets going, like, it becomes its own show. And very unique, very funny. You gotta love, Chris Pratt. Like, this was kind of his first big thing, and he's hilarious in this. One of my favorites. And then, Ben, Leslie, you got the whole gang. Ron Swanson, of course, you gotta love. But one thing I did want to point out that I loved was just how the town itself of Pawnee, like, becomes, it's like its own character, just like all the issues they have. I love it. It's a great show. Okay, and now here's one that man, there's nothing like a David Lynch project. Okay, anybody that's seen his movies or Twin Peaks knows exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, you got the humor, you got the lovable characters, you got the crazy psycho off the wall stuff that's just like, what's going on? And I guess that's just what makes David Lynch David Lynch. But yeah, I randomly started watching this on Netflix years ago, and I fell in love with it. I love Twin Peaks, and I got lucky because I actually got into the show right before they finally made the third season, and so I didn't have to wait the what, like 25 years or whatever it was that everybody else did. Like I literally finished it, and then I was able to like watch episode 1 and 2 and then continue on live. So got pretty lucky to find it that way. But I was like, yeah, I gotta get this physically. And so I was able to get it on a good Black Friday deal just this past Black Friday. And I was very glad to do so. And the nice thing, for some reason, I was thinking it was just season 1 and 2, and I was going to have to buy the limited series separately. But no, this is all three seasons, and yeah, they look amazing. And it was on Blu-ray, as you can see, so I was very happy about that. Okay, now we're down to the end. Now this is a show that has just exploded in popularity, and for good reason. But I have to say, initially I didn't feel like it was overrated, but I guess I just didn't click with it the same way everybody did at first. But then once I got more into it, I'm like, okay, no, this show really is great. And I'm talking about Stranger Things. So yeah, I had to pick it up, and I actually got. It was funny because of course it was like, okay, I got to get season 1 and 2, and it's unfortunate because they did have physical releases, obviously for only seasons 1 and 2, and then they kind of just stop, probably because they want you to sign up for Netflix. But yeah, I picked up both of these for like a phenomenal deal, and then Target had them on clearance, and so then I was able to pick up. Well, okay, let's reverse that. I picked up these, so this is the 4K versions of seasons 1 and 2, and then I loved just like the artwork and like how you have like the VHS tape, and then you have like the video rental case. Like I love that aesthetic so much that these went on clearance. Like this was $5, and then I think the 4K, or no, this was just the Blu-ray of season 2 was like $8 or something. So that's why I decided to pick those up as well, because they were awesome. And yeah, it's just one of those shows too where like season 3 and 4 were incredible, and I can't wait to see what happens in 5. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up here for my TV shows. Let me know, what are some of your favorites? What are your memories with growing up with TV shows? You know, like I'm waiting on The Simpsons. I don't know if it will be worthwhile to get a complete series, seeing as how it's over 30 seasons now. But I do need to start working on that. And then South Park is another one that I definitely want to start picking it up. And Futurama, there's just so many. But yeah, great shows. Gotta love it. Thanks for sticking around. And as always,